Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to turn on and off the music studios at the International Centre for Music Studies at Newcastle University. In this video, we will cover the basics of operating in these rooms, including how to turn the equipment on and off without damaging the studio and how to open Pro Tools ready for a recording session. Whilst there are a number of rooms in the music studios building which can be used to record audio, this video will concentrate on Studio 1 and Studio 2, the main recording facilities. Both studios consist of a control room and a live room. A control room is typically used by the producer or recording engineer to direct, record, or mix the music being performed by the musicians in the live room. The live room is the performance space for the recording. You might be used to seeing control rooms with large mixing desks occupying the center console. Our studios are fully digital, otherwise known as in the box. This allows us to easily move studio projects between all of our workspaces. However, you will notice that there are racks full of equipment, including preamps, EQs, and compressors. This equipment can be used to replicate the feel and effect that you might get from a more traditional mixing console. Studio 1 is our main recording space. It has a large control room which we use for teaching and a reasonably large live room. We recommend using this room for any larger recordings. In particular, we recommend recording drums and piano in this room. Studio 2 is a smaller studio with a smaller live room. However, it houses our best pair of monitors for critically listening to your music. This studio is great for mixing, but also for recording acoustic instruments, guitars, and vocals. Both studios turn on and off in the same way. To turn on the studio, first locate the power conditioner in one of the rack units. This is a black unit which has a large switch on the front. Be careful not to turn this switch off during your recording session, as it turns on and off power to all of the equipment in the room. Press the switch and the lights on some of the other units will turn on. This is a good time to check that the pieces of equipment you will need to make the studio work are turned on as well. These should be left on when switching off the studio, but sometimes they're turned off. Save yourself some time now by checking. The essential pieces of equipment to check are the SSL AlphaLink interface and the Avid MADI HD. These allow the computer to receive signals from your microphones and allows playback through the monitors. It is also a good idea to turn on any preamps you are intending to use in your recording session. Once these units have been switched on, you can locate the power button on the PC in the room you are using and switch on the computer. The very last thing that we switch on and the very first thing that we switch off in any music studio are the monitors. Monitor is the word that we use for a speaker in a music studio. We turn the monitors on last and off first because they are at the end of our signal chain. They are delicate pieces of equipment, and any power surge caused by turning on another piece of equipment after them can cause serious damage. The switches for the monitors can be located on the front of the speakers in Studio 1 and on the rear of the speakers in Studio 2. The computers should log in automatically, and once fully loaded, you will be able to double-click on the Pro Tools icon on the desktop to load Pro Tools. When loaded, Pro Tools comes up with a dialog screen asking whether you'd like to load a project or create a new one. If this is your first time in the studios, or you are on any of the first or second year studio production modules, we recommend you use the following settings for your new session. File type, set to .wav or .wav. Sample rate, set to 44.1 kHz or 44.1 kHz. I/O settings, set to recording studio default, and bit depth set to 24-bit. Name your project something sensible at the top of the screen and deselect Create from Template. Always use the Prompt for Location button so that you know where your project is going to be saved. Where you save your project is really important in the music studios. There are 2 hard drives in the computers. The system drive, where the operating system and programs are stored, and the audio drive, where all student and staff work is located. The system drive is regularly and automatically cleared of data, so if your project is located there, it will get deleted. Note that the desktop of the computer is located on the system drive, and so you should never save work to the desktop. In the audio drive, you will see a folder called Student HD. If you open this folder, you will see that the storage is ordered by degree year. Please save your work into the correct folder. This work can only be accessed in the room you are working in, and we cannot guarantee the safety of your project. IT issues do happen, and it's entirely possible that your work could be deleted accidentally or lost in a computer malfunction. For this reason, it is essential that you back up your work to a personal USB stick every time you finish a studio session. Remember to save new versions of your work often using the Save As function. In order to turn off the studio safely, you first need to save your work and back it up to a USB stick. Once your work is saved, turn off the studio monitors, then close Pro Tools. Go to the Start menu and select Shut Down. Once the computer is completely turned off, you can turn off the main power button on the power conditioner. Thanks for watching this Music Studio Basics tutorial video. If you have questions related to the Newcastle University Music Studios, you can email music.technicians@ncl.ac.uk.